My name is Eden Lawson. I'm a sophomore and I'm from Redlands, California. So I found out about Westmont actually when my mom and I were driving up the California coast looking at schools, and it wasn't really on my radar until we finished visiting Pepperdine and Point Loma, and we're just driving along Pacific Coast Highway thinking about where I want to end up, and I knew I wanted to be somewhere close to the beach. And so my mom just popped up in the car and she goes, well, there's this little place called Westmont and nestled in the hills of Montecito, and it's right by the beach and it's small and it looks like it has everything that you're looking for. So that was kind of how I found out about Westmont. Mother knows best. So she did a lot of work in helping me find what was the school that I wanted to be at. So I attribute a lot of that to her and her doing a lot of the research for me. So, oh man, that's a really good question. It's hard. It's a hard question though too, because there have been so many good experiences. Westmont is just a place of adventure, and so it's hard to pick one experience. But what I will say is my favorite theme of experiences would be the adventures that I've had off campus with people, whether it's going on a mission at 3 a.m. down to Winchell's Donuts and going back up to Gibraltar to look at the stars with a group of friends, or hanging out in someone's room late at night and having a really great conversation about faith, or my first night here, going with my roommate Carson and being up till 3 a.m. because we're so pumped full of adrenaline and going outside and just looking at the stars together. I think there's just such a theme of curiosity about what the world is and wanting to make the most of our experience here. And so I would say that's been my favorite experiences, is just the fellowship that I've created with people off campus, and just the want and the desire to get to know this place called Santa Barbara and be able to call it home and be able to know that we've made so many memories here. Those have been the experiences that have really just grounded my experience at Westmont. And when I think 20 years down the road about what life at Westmont was and what it was like, the things I'm going to be remembering are the days that I woke up at sunrise to go surfing with friends, the times after chapel when we were really challenged by what was said and we had a hard conversation about it, or going up to Gibraltar Rock and looking at the stars and the sunset and rock climbing. It's that adventurous spirit that Westmont students have and have encouraged each other to have off campus that has just really made me love this school and the people here. I would say if anything has changed in the past few years, it has been my faith and the way that I've oriented my faith. I came out of high school wanting to go to a college that was faith-oriented and was religiously oriented, so I could be surrounded by people who would push me towards God. And these past 2 years have been such a huge area of growth in faith for me, but also in a way that I didn't expect. I thought going to college that growth would mean leaps and bounds of faith, and I would never have any doubts or questions about God or religion or theology, but it was completely opposite the case. And I think at first, going to freshman year, I was really shocked by all these questions I was having about my faith and my belief and what God was for me and what my image of God was. But then I realized it's those questions and those challenges and those doubts that have pushed me closer to Him. And I think I had, again, talking about expectations, an expectation of what my relationship with God was supposed to look like. And I realized just how unhealthy that was for me, coming out of high school and coming to a school where I could talk to professors about my questions, about my doubts, about things in Scripture that just didn't add up for me. And in asking them those questions, I was able to push myself so much closer to God and able to keep core to my faith in the Lord, but also push the parameters of what I really believe and create for myself what my faith really wanted to be and what I wanted my connection with God to be and how I wanted to interact with others. And it is because of those questions and doubts that I have been able to see such improvement in the way that I see myself interact with the Lord. And again, just talking about questions too, I think there can be such a negative connotation behind asking questions about faith. If you have doubts, then that's not okay, but I realized, and through mentors who have just poured into me, that questions are the things that bring you closer to God. And I like to think that when I'm asking questions about my faith, God would be smiling down upon me because He sees how much I love Him. And in any loving relationship, you ask good questions, good intentional questions. And I think that has just been something that has changed the way I think about my faith, that questions lead to more questions, and that's completely okay. And I've been so thankful for that, and a community that has come around me and pushed me to ask more questions and to lean into those and to show me how having a question-oriented faith can push me closer to the Lord.